Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, Coffee with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie. I'm happy that you are here with me today. So this video is going to be a life update video just to let you know what is going on with current events. Oh boy, it has been one heck of a week and one heck of a month. It's just the hits keep on coming, bumps in the road. Lois is here too. Say hey! Say hello! Yeah, and if you are new here, I will update you really quick what's been going on, but if you have been following me for a while, you've been watching my videos and my vlogs, you know that my husband Aurelien has been having some health issues, and it all started last month. He had problems with high blood pressure. It was through the roof. It was the day after our son's Henry's 8th birthday party. It happened the very next day. He would keep getting these really stubborn, painful headaches. I don't know, like every day, maybe every day, but throughout the day. And at first they weren't too bad, but then they just kind of, came back with revengeance every time, and they were more of a pain in the butt to get rid of. And it didn't matter if he took Advil or if he went to lie down and to try and get rid of it, nothing worked. So it's like, okay, time to go to the doctor, because when something like that doesn't seem to go away, it's time to go to the doctor. There's obviously something wrong. So he went to our family doctor, and his blood pressure was through the roof, and they called an ambulance and they took him to the hospital, and he got there about 5 o'clock, waited 10 hours for a doctor, got to see a doctor, and they had him all hooked up to wires, to machines, monitors, IV, and they did a bunch of tests on him. They did an MRI, and they were amazed that he was still walking and talking, and that he was still alert. He still knew what was going on around him, because they thought there's no way that you should be able to do this, right? But like I say, God has the last say, and my mom had everybody praying for him, and I believe that is why that he was not any worse, that he was still pretty much alert, right? So since he had a headache, they did MRI, and the next day he ended up coming home. He came home about, I think, 4 o'clock. His dad picked him up and drove him back home, and they gave him blood pressure medicine. So his blood pressure right now is under control. He's still on blood pressure medication, and he's eating better, eating healthier, more vegetables and fruit, and he is drinking more water. He's watching when he eats. So right now, his blood pressure is looking pretty good, and this happened a month ago. I think he's even lost a little bit of weight, which is good. So so he came home, and when you come home from the hospital, if you've been to the hospital, and you get the discharge papers, and they might have instructions, right, what to do when you get home, or if you have any medication to take, how to take that medication. Well, they had 2 places that were supposed to call him, and I say supposed to because this hospital, I don't know how, but they got his birthday wrong, and his address wrong, and his number wrong, and they didn't even ask him. Usually, places like that will double check, right? Is this still your number? Is this still your address, right? Is this the right birthday? Because you never know if somebody just recently moved and just hasn't changed their ID, you don't know, stuff like that happens. But they never asked him, and they never called. How are you going to call when you don't have the right number? And he never called them because he went to see our doctor the week after, 1 week later, and our doctor gave him more blood pressure medication, and he told him not to worry about it, because when he was at the hospital, they said that he had a bubble in his head, a bubble. And it's well, what does that mean? A bubble? Can you explain that? So So, because like we didn't really know what was, but we didn't really know what was wrong, and that's why we didn't really say anything. We didn't tell anybody but family and like a couple of friends, and we didn't really tell anybody until we absolutely knew for sure what was going on, and he's already told people on TikTok land, so that's why he knows I'm talking about this. So, yeah, but like we weren't like 100% sure, but we kind of had like feeling, because if another word for a bubble would be tumor. I just don't know why. Maybe they weren't 100% sure it was a tumor. I don't know. But we didn't know that it was like a tumor, and we weren't going to worry about it until we absolutely knew for sure. So fast forward probably 2 weeks later, after he comes home from the hospital, he gets a call from a surgeon's nurse, and she's asking him all these questions like, what's your birthday? What's today's date? Can you spell baseball? Can you spell it backwards? And she even gave a math question, and he just threw out whatever number popped in his head. I would feel like that, by the way, so, we're so used to our calculators on our phone, and he was on a cell phone, so he couldn't use a calculator on his cell phone. So she was just asking simple questions like that, and she took all that information, and then she passed it along to the surgeon, and then she said, we'll call you back, and we'll let you know what the next step is, okay? And it's like, okay, great. And I don't remember if that's when she told him that it was a tumor, or it was when she called back, because they did call back. Yeah, so I forgot what, there's so much that's happened. So yeah, she even told him on that phone call, or when they called back, that it was a tumor, and that it was small, and that it was slow growing, and it's like right here, and that he would need surgery, in November. They gave us November, so they said it'll be before Christmas, probably November. It's like, okay, in a way that's great, it's going to be before Christmas, and we don't want to deal with that around Christmas, but we would if we would have had to, because really you don't have that choice. But then it's like, oh man, we have to wait like 2.5 months. Oh my gosh, like really, when you just want to get over with now. And what they're going to do is just take a little sample of it, and go test it for what. And I was like, okay, that's great, because it's nice knowing the next step, right? Because that's the part I hate, not knowing. You feel like you are left in the dark, because you don't know what's going on. Like, on their end, you have no idea. So, and then fast forward to Casey's birthday weekend, they call again. And they always call when you least expect it. And that is when they called the day before his birthday, and it was a Thursday. It was last Thursday, and and like we were still processing that he had to get surgery. Okay, we were processing that, come November, this is what we're going to have to deal with. And it's a lot to process, it would be a lot for anybody to process. That's a lot of emotions, mixed emotions. I had every emotion come out of me, yeah, it was, crazy month, crazy week. The hits just kept coming, yeah, knock me down, but I get back up, But and then, when they called and they said, okay, your surgery is September 29th at 8 a.m., so he has to be there for 6 a.m., and the night before, there's a certain time where, like, you can't eat, right? It's a cutoff time. So his dad is going to drive him and probably pick him up, which is great, because I have the kids. If I could, I would be in 2 places at once. I don't have that superpower, though, to make multiples of myself. I don't have that superpower. I know. Otherwise, I would. I would be, 2 places at once. So, but that's great. He'll have his dad. So yeah, September 29th. Yeah. And when we heard that, it just, changed the rest of the day. It changed the atmosphere, it changed our moods, and you know, it was like we were in a good mood, you know, and then it was like not so much of a good mood. And I didn't want to think about it because I had to stop myself, because if I sat and thought about it, I was going to break down and just cry. Okay, I had Henry come up here. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so I'm kind of glad I had Casey's birthday for a distraction, because it kept my mind off of it, and it kept me busy, and it was a very busy weekend. We had fun. We were busy. Yeah, very busy. Picking out a hamster and celebrating his birthday, and then we had his birthday party. But then I realized, you know, I still forgot a couple things for his birthday. And I didn't realize it until today when I was like cleaning up a little bit. You remember how for Henry's birthday I got the number balloon from Dollar Tree, and you just inflated yourself with your own hot breath? And I got Casey number 7. Well, I remember Henry opened it and I put it on a small counter, but I totally forgot about it. And it's like, oh, yeah, because I usually I decorate the table, the present table with that. So I had the table decorated, but I usually have the number right in the middle of the table. Totally forgot about that. And then when I went back to Dollar Tree, and I got the Angry Birds like keychain, but it's like a mystery bag. I was supposed to put that in his gift bag, and I totally forgot about that. I don't even know where that is. I have to go find it, you know. So it was like, I was kind of like, I remember the important stuff, the, you know, big presents, but like stuff like that, you know, like I don't know, he probably didn't even notice, you know, that the number 7 balloon was missing, but I did. You know. But yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, because like, you know, I wasn't thinking straight, you know, my mind was all over the place. So but that's okay, as long as it was like little things and nothing major, so nothing big. Yeah, so I'm glad that, you know, it's like, okay, my mind was kept preoccupied, and then I was like, you know, and then like, yeah, you know, after his party and that, even like, you know, when I pray at night, because I pray every night, and I just pray for, you know, that the tumor will just go away, and when the operation comes out, you know, because any surgery is scary. I had my appendix out like 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember that was my first surgery, and I was nervous. I was scared, you know, and this was at night. My mom and dad, the hubby went home. The hubby had the boys, you know. My mom and dad stayed, you know, till, you know, it was time to go home, right? You can only stay for so long if you're a visitor. But, you know, I remember being scared, like, just scared. Of course, everything worked out. It was fine. But when you haven't had surgery, yeah, you know, that's very scary. That's a scary experience. I think he has had surgery when he was a kid. I think he had his tonsils out. But that was when he was a kid, you know, and if they're drilling a hole in his head, you know, so I don't want anybody to go through that. I don't want my husband to go through that, you know. I don't want anybody to do that. Like, no, we should only have, you know, these holes in our heads, you know, but yeah, so like every night when I pray, yeah, I tear up. I still get, like, I'm still like, you know, emotional, and I find myself, you know, when first, you know, that happened, and then it's like I feel like doing absolutely nothing, you know. I get into these moods where it's like, just leave me alone, don't talk to me, don't look at me, you know, just leave me alone. I would get into these, you know, depressing moods, and I would eventually snap out of it, but, you know, you just can't help it, because, like, you know, this is something that, you know, nobody expects to go through, and honestly, you know, didn't think it would happen, you know, but yeah, here we are, and it was just like a weekend of mixed emotions, and it still is. It's still crazy. And then Tuesday, the first day back to school, it's like, okay, great, you can finally like start to like get back into routine. Alright, Henry, once again, I did try to do this video in the afternoon, But it's a hard video to do, and I had to keep doing it. So I lost count how many times I tried to do that. So I'm trying to make this my final attempt. Oh, but he keeps coming up here. Okay, so where was I? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, okay, back to school, and it's like, okay, first day to ourselves, and it was kind of like, what do I do, you know, and really all I have been doing is like watching TV and watching the Golden Girls, you know, because I just haven't felt like doing much. It's just with everything going on, and it's like I want to start eventually to get back into, I'll start getting my butt into gear, but the last past few days it's like, yeah, I don't want to do anything, you know, like, yeah, besides your normal like laundry, dishes, but you know, that stuff I do, but well, the washing, not the folding and putting away. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I haven't done that yet. I need to do it. Maybe tomorrow. Probably not. We'll see. But it was like Monday. It was like, okay, we can finally get back to like routine. The kids are in school. We can find our groove again. You know, what we would do, you know, yes. what we would do like when the kids were at school. Like we would, you know, get stuff done without being interrupted, you know, just like how Henry's doing, walking in while I'm filming this, you know, mom life. Yeah, because I know you're doing something. Yeah. Thank God they're back in school. But it's like, and then he took the car to our mechanic, and then he said that, yeah, no, you need a new car. Yeah, you have to start looking for a new car because your car really isn't safe. Like, it's safe for now, but it's just going to get worse pretty quick. And it's like, anything else you want to throw at me, universe? Because right now you suck. You know? I want to flip you the bird, you know? I know. Like, honestly, it's like, yeah, because that's, you know, just, let's just add that stress too on top of the other stress. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my gosh. So I was like, you know, not what we wanted to hear, but our mechanic, he is really good. Yeah, he could have tried to fix it, and because he said if he started fixing something, it would start at $2,000. And then something else would need fixing, and then the price would just keep going up and up. And he is a really good, trustworthy mechanic because he didn't take advantage of us. You know, he was honest, and he didn't even charge us for looking at it. And he said, yeah, go get a new car because this one is kaput. So, very thankful for our mechanic. And plus he had his mask was, the Flash. Yes, and the Flash is one of my favorite superheroes next to my main squeeze, Superman. Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Hello. I know. So then it's like we went straight looking for a car right away. You know, Tuesday right away. We went straight, and we didn't know. We didn't have time to think. You know, I didn't know what model I wanted. I didn't know what year. I didn't know. All I knew was like it had to be like around 4 years because they were buying used, you know, but it had to be like around 4 years old or less, you know, on. I didn't know a budget. I didn't know what price frame to stick to. I didn't know diddly squat, you know. And it's like, I don't know, like, because the guy was asking a budget, I'm like, I don't know, under 20,000, you know, like, way under 20,000, you know, and we found one actually just came in, that was in our budget. The one we were looking at, was, I think, just a little bit more, not too much, but a little bit more price, but I'm kind of glad, because I didn't really like the color of it. It was kind of like a brownish gold, I don't know, I didn't really like the color. And the one that we have, the only difference between the two cars that we were looking at, is that the first car, it had like a GPS thing in it, and this one, the one that we have, doesn't. And it's like, yeah, that's okay. We got GPS on our phone, so we're good. You know, it's just, you know, something we didn't know. We don't need that. Yeah, so it's like, and then it was like, okay, you go get it approved by, you know, for finances, and that is nerve-wracking too, because you have to deal, like, well, they deal with the banks on your behalf, but they reach out to, like, lots of different banks, and there was a bank that said yes, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, God, you know, because you never know, and it's not the banks, the people like that, you know, like people in the bank, it's the head, you know, the big shots that are not at the bank, but probably at a different building, you know, way at top floor. Yeah, it's those kind of people. So you never know, they can just go, oh, you know, no, you know, and but yeah, so very thankful that we got, you know, the finances worked out, and it kind of worked with our budget, you know, what I would want to pay for it. Not that I want to pay for, you know, make a car payment, I know, but yeah, here we are. Cars are very important, and you need them to get to point A to point B, right? So, yeah, so, but once we got approved, and then we went there yesterday, you know, that kind of relieved some of the stress, you know, so I was like, okay, good, you know, because I don't really want to be driving the van. Like, right now we are driving, but we're just driving the boys to and from school and around town, you know, that's it. We're not going to Windsor or anything, which is a city next to us, like 20-30 minutes away. So, yeah, but it was like, you know, it's like, boom, 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 you know, and it's like, go away, you know, like, leave me alone, like, nothing else. I don't want anything else, you know, to go on. So, yeah, and right now, like, he's waiting for his doctor office to call him, because right now we're not sure if our doctor called a surgeon or if it was a hospital that called a surgeon. We're not like really 100% sure, because when he called, okay, the nurse from the surgeon, okay, she called and she told him, okay, you have to get a blood test done, because Monday they want him to come in for another MRI, and they want this done before the surgery. Well, the surgery is like, you know, 3 weeks away, and he's like, okay, but like, you know, you can't just tell somebody to get a blood test and they don't have like a piece of paper. Like, you have to fax that piece of paper over or something, you know, like, you just can't show up to a clinic and say, oh yeah, but I need a blood test, you know, and not know what they're looking for and which doctor it's going to. So like, that was kind of weird, and it's like, what, you know? So it was another confusing day today, and and then he called. So he called our doctor, and he's talking to the reception, and she's looking at his file, and saying that, you know, they don't have anything, you know, about what's going on. So we don't know what's going on, like, if he has to get a blood test or go for another MRI. So I don't know. I will keep you guys updated and post it. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just like a lot of confusion and a lot of miscommunication between a surgeon and our doctor's office. So I'm not 100% sure, but I will keep you updated. Hello.
Nice.
Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up. As far as we know, he's still having the surgery. We are just not sure about the blood test and the MRI. So that's where we are right now with that. It's a little bit confusing. We don't know what's going on. Does he need the blood test and MRI? Like, I can see needing the blood test, and maybe the MRI just to check it, the tumor. I don't know. It's just like, I just want to scream into a pillow. Can I do that? I might do that. Who needs a pillow? I'll just scream. I know, because it's just, yeah, there's just like a lot of emotions, and they're all coming out at once. So, so the week of a surgery, I might not be vlogging or having a video out every day. So if you don't see a video from me, Don't worry, I might just be taking a day or two off. I will be back, but it just depends, you know, how I feel. If I feel like filming, or if I feel like, you know, I need to take a day or two off, you know, and I might end up taking a day or two off. So just to give you a heads up, yeah, because it's a lot, but you know, God doesn't give us what we can't handle, right? So, and I thank you very much for all your support, and I know this is a wonderful YouTube community. Hello, Casey. Now I have Casey, and this is a wonderful, yeah, YouTube, not just YouTube community, but little family, and we have each other's backs, right? We're always there for each other. Anyways, that was Casey's nose. I hope you enjoyed that shot. Okay, and like I said, I tried to film this earlier, but it was just a hard video to film, so, and that's why I'm filming when the kids are home. When usually I like to film when they're not at home for obvious reasons, so, but it's okay. I will see you in the next fun video. I know this video wasn't really fun, but the next one will be super fun, because I gotta go shopping. Fun for you, not for me. Alright, so thanks for watching. Really should do appreciate it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you're not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll be happy to have you and welcome you to my YouTube family. Alright,
Hello.
yeah, hello. Say goodbye now. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Alright, bye guys. Take care. Be blessed.